What up, my peoples? It is myself, the People's Choice, John Rodriguez, along with the Nubian Sumo, hanging out. Brought to you by the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. Also, you know us as your Saturday night Wrestlemaniacs. Sumo, what's up, Hammy?
She's back, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Black History Month. It's February, and you know what that means. I'm back.
Oh, bless us all. God bless us, everyone. Now that you can actually do your job, go ahead and tell us what you're about. Oh my God, this fool. Let me know when you finish.
Oh.
Somebody get this man a towel.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Nubian Sumo is tonight being powered by a hand-rolled stick I've been holding on for the past 3 years from a store, a lounge in Tampa, Florida, Ybor City, Florida, I should say, by the name of La Ferrona. As you can see, is a triple banded cigar. The light being a natural wrapper, the dark being a Habano wrapper, and the green being what is called a Candela wrapper, which is a dyed tobacco that they used to use back in the day. If you ever watched the old Western movie and you saw the guys were smoking green cigars, they would dye the cigars green. They use this particular dye to help preserve the cigars since they'd had no concept of humidors back then. So it would help to preserve the cigars and keep them in some sort of shape in order for them to hold on to them, because they'll be sitting out in the heat and all the elements of wherever they were inside of a box or wherever they decided to stick them in at that time. So the Candela wrapper is still being used these days, and I necessarily don't like a Candela wrapper, but because if there's a chemical taste to it that I don't really appreciate, but mixed with another type of tobacco, I do tend to enjoy it because it does dampen that aftertaste. So, like I said, I've been holding on to this one for about 3 years and pulled it out for just such an occasion.
Well, doesn't that make us feel special?
And for extra month,
are you giving it to us?
I do have something else that's coming. What I've been bragging about for the last couple of weeks has not shown up yet, unfortunately.
Oh man!
But what I do have is the Uncle Nearest single barrel pick. Now, this is Black History Month. Uncle Nearest, as you know, we talked about, is a black-owned company through that was helped brought along or helped sustained by Jack Daniels. Since he was Uncle Nearest Green was the person who showed Jack Daniel how to distribute or distill whiskey.
Okay.
So now what's special about this particular bottle here, this is a barrel pick. So this tag right here,
okay,
notes that this company, this liquor store went to the Uncle Nearest distillery and specifically asked for this barrel, bought this barrel, and had this barrel bottled for that particular store. Now you can get
that's pretty awesome.
You can definitely have that done. And there are a lot of liquor stores that actually do that. They call them barrel picks, barrel selects, things or whatever they decide to call them. They usually keep them in the back. You can ask for them, or they'll have them displayed somewhere where you may be able to taste them in store. Okay. You may be able to just they'll tell you about them, and they'll be able to show them to you, tell you about them. But
so they make more money off of that?
They usually they sell them
for profit, or is it regular price?
No, usually they just sell it at retail price regularly. But it does attract people to that store because this barrel is not going to be the same as another barrel. Barrels are almost like fingerprints. There's some type of different nuance with each barrel that makes them different. So this particular barrel will be distinct and will not be used with any other mixtures, any other type of face that they come out with. This is the Lax Liquors barrel pick, which makes this unique to them.
So I'm asking you a stupid question. It's probably my last one. So once they emptied the barrel, does that mean in essence that barrel will never be used again? So they'll just deconstruct the barrel, or do they just, for lack of a better term, resanitize it and then reuse the barrel?
The barrel can be reused, but it cannot be reused for a new whiskey. So let's put it this way.
What you put in it like a fingerprint, because that means that they could cheat somebody and have the same fingerprint out there.
Well, let's put it this way. Okay, so by federal law, a bourbon can only be made in a brand new American white oak barrel. Okay. That's the only that has never been used. Now, the barrel that was used for this can be reused for various things. They can I've seen barrels being reused to put tobacco in, to cure tobacco for cigars. Okay. I've seen wine used with old barrels. They'll take one new wine and put the new wine in an old barrel to pick up all of those nuances from the barrel. Because what you have, what you have in the barrel, there are two things in the barrel, or that come from a barrel. Once you fill it up and it starts to age, you have what's called the angel's share, which is the amount of alcohol that evaporates from the barrel.
Okay.
That you won't wind up losing every day, every month, every year that it sits. You also have what's called the devil's cut. The devil's cut is the moisture or the alcohol that soaks into the wood, because as you go through your seasons, winter, summer, spring, and fall, around summertime, you have the alcohol that gets released from, and everything like the tars and the and everything that's coming from the wood that goes into the alcohol.
Okay.
But then coming into the winter, you have what comes into the wood. It soaks more into the wood as you go into the winter months. So you got all of that in and out, that trade between the alcohol and the wood from the barrel, that creates the color, that gives you the character, that gives you the taste, that gives you the char from there's a charring that goes on inside the barrel as well, to give you a distinct flavor. You know, if you've tasted a bourbon and it feels like it's kind of burnt, you get a burnt kind of sensation to it, or burnt taste, is because of the charring they do on the inside of the barrel. So you have that all that going on over a course of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, up to 23 years.
Wow.
And then they bottle up what's in it, and then it can be reused for anything else. Like I said, wine, hot sauce. Tabasco had a series where they did barrel finished Tabasco sauce.
Wow.
It's a whole lot of different things that have been used. Beer has been used. You have, I said tobacco earlier, but people have stored cigars in barrels to kind of cure the cigars after they finish the product, that they just let them sit for like a few months to pick up,
right,
those nuances within the barrel. So let's see what we're working with here.
Yeah, go ahead and taste that. I appreciate the education there. I didn't know it was that deep and intense, but the more you know, is that old commercial used to be back on Saturday mornings.
Oh yeah, that is a damn tasty beverage.
So I know you're wondering, it's been about 13 minutes. Hey, are these guys ever going to talk about the reason for the season? But while we putting over getting drunk, we might as well talk about some Black French. So if you have not ordered using the link down below to get you some Fort Most, here's your chance. Start the year off right. Just go to www.buyfortmost.com /discount/maniacs to get you a nice, lovely piece of change taken off of your total. And then when you get it home, you will be not disappointed. It's Black History Month, so it's extra important to make sure you're celebrating and supporting a Black-owned business, especially since, we all going to have to raise a glass for the memory of Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers, who passed yesterday. So if there's never a reason before to get you a little black drink, then make sure you go and order some Black French, drink the hell out of it, and then watch some Rocky.
Now, since you did make the segue into a fight,
and did watch,
it's funny you mentioned that. You did. It is. There is a fight going on right now with Fort Most. Fort Most, just to give you a brief history.
Like they beefing with somebody? Or you talking about
actually a beef right now with Fort Most and Remy Martin. Remy Martin is actually suing Fort Mose for using year 1738 on their labeling.
So they saying they own a number?
Yes, pretty much. They're saying that they have the right to use a number, the year 1738, on that Remy Martin has been using for a very long time. I think that was the year that Remy Martin was created, or the birth date, the birth year. But 1738 has significance to Fort Mose because that was the year that Fort Mose, the town, was founded, which is the first free slave town in the United States. So, what the whole premise of the name is for.
So you saying Remy Martin is against free slaves?
Pretty much.
De facto racist?
So Remy Martin has placed a cease and desist order with Fort Mose to stop using the year 1738.
So maybe we need to email Remy Martin, stop being racist.
Wait a minute, it must be 1783. 1783.
Don't matter. They being racist.
Whatever the number is, but it's either way, it's stupid. But that would be more of a reason for you to support Fort Mose, to help them bolster up their finances and get this lawsuit or the cease and desist order taken care of, so that they can go about their business without having to deal with ignorance like Remy Martin and anybody.
Where's Ben Crump at? You need to go and take that pro bono. Well, how you going over here hate in Black History Month against a black owned business that's talking about slaves? That's some BS right there.
So yeah, please support Fort Mose in this effort to quench the colonizers and keep the small black business going.
Well, this may be a common theme then, because as we segue officially 17 minutes into our show into wrestling, let's talk about some reverse colonization. I guess is the best way to think about it, because Cody Rhodes, by all rights, as we talked about last week on our reaction show, is going to WrestleMania to see Roman Reigns inside the squared circle, one-on-one for your Nintendo, until the number one heel in the industry stepped out on SmackDown and shut that shit down. I know you want to say something, so I'm just giving a framework so that way you can fill in the details and get it off your chest. But you gave a good segue into it, because it's basically, the big guy versus the little guy. Just like Fort Mose. Talk about it.
Well, first of all, let's not call Cody a colonizer. I mean, he is married to a black woman.
Well, he's also
whether that means anything or not, I won't put Cody.
Look, I'm working on the segue. Okay, it's the best I got.
No, I know. Let's show Cody. I'm trying a little respect.
No hate on Cody. He's not colonized.
It's hard to do right now, because I don't know if this is more him or Triple H, but I mean, because this could be Triple H, and he like, oh, okay, so we put sledgehammers across the thrones now, huh? Is that what we doing? Okay.
I got an idea as to why, but you go ahead and talk about what like I said, what I was framing for you.
So
and I'll tell you what my thought is.
And I got to give I got to give props to Heaven Reigns on Instagram, who said what I was thinking, but she verbalized it so well. Okay. She's just like us. She's a YouTuber and talks about professional wrestling. She goes to a lot of the shows and whatnot. And she was like, okay, so you've ruined WrestleMania in one promo 3 different ways. Okay. So first of all, you have this buildup. You have this buildup of Cody and finishing his story, and you give him 2 straight Royal Rumbles. He's pointing at the sign, he's shouting out the Bullet Club and all this and that, and does his thing. He's talking to Seth Rollins. Rollins is like, no, that's the Hollywood Championship. You don't want that. You don't want the Hollywood Championship. This is you need the Workhorse Championship, the championship that your father would want it. The championship, this is the championship that that really means something. Then you go on. You say you're going to make your announcement on Friday night. Reigns comes out. He's like, how you gonna say this is the Hollywood Championship? I mean, yours is that championship you got is the runner-ups championship, this secondary championship. The guy who holds that belt is the guy who can't beat Roman Reigns championship. This time. So not only have you first of all, you buried the title that you've been building up for the past year.
Yep.
Then you try to downgrade the Universal Championship, but you can't really. Mm-hmm. There's no way you can do that. Then through all of this, after a whole year, you might as well say 2 years, because like I said, 2 Royal Rumbles. Cody comes into the ring and he's talking about, my father, your championship is a championship that was put in my father's hands and taken out of his hands and taken away from him. That's the title I want. That's the title that I'm looking for. And I will meet you for that title. I will come to you for that title. We will wrestle each other for that title, but not at WrestleMania. Huh? Mm-hmm. I've been talking to people. I've been getting advice from old heads and from legends and everybody. And there was one in particular that came to me and told me, and you know him very well. And here comes The Rock. No words said. Just hug Cody Rhodes and whisper a little something in his ear. Yeah, bitch. Get in the back of the line. Take your monkey ass on somewhere. This is my show. Incredible. The man gets placed on the board of TKO. Within days of him getting this, he makes his daughter the NXT general manager.
Yep.
Because she has nothing else to do. They have nothing else to do with her. And then calling himself saving WrestleMania. He actually said this, ladies and gentlemen. It is in print. Calling himself saving WrestleMania because there's no CM Punk, There's no Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins is hurt, and all this and this and that. He calls himself saving WrestleMania by taking over Cody's spot, and Cody is now supposed to wrestle Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
If that happens. Because Seth is still in flux.
If it happens, because we still don't know to the extent of Seth Rollins' injury.
If a doctor says Seth, you can't,
we don't know if he's going to be able to.
Then that means that potentially the Elimination Chamber can be the championship match, which they would give to Cody and have Cody go to WrestleMania and face Gunther. But my theory is that, and we'll talk about it a little bit, this Vince situation is so devastating and destructive to TKO and the WWE that they are in suicide damage control. And they had to think, what can we do? Remember, I talked about it last week. You're going to stop thinking about it after the Rumble. What can we do to be able to turn people's attention on a dime away from this hot mess? And that's got to be something pretty egregious to overcome Vince McMahon pooping on somebody's head. So what can you do? We take away the American dream, literally, and put in The Rock. It doesn't matter who you put. You could have put in Stone Cold Steve Austin. You could have put in, I don't know who else. Pedro Morales. Hell, you could have dug up Bruno Sammartino's hologram. Wouldn't have mattered. The moment you took the American dream away from us and Cody, you're an instant heel. So now you got a down the road problem. Yes, The Rock is going to get cheered. Roman gets cheered. But The Rock is the heel in the match. What kind of dynamic and storytelling are you going to tell to be able to make The Rock the face to justify in a promo why Cody isn't getting the match that he pointed to Roman at WrestleMania? He declared it right then. At the Royal Rumble, right then and there. I'm coming after you. We waited 2 years for this. I'm coming after you. How could you justify that on a microphone, Rock, without being a heel? You're going to have to go back to Die Rocky Die and, rejoin the nation. Heel Rock is the only way to go. But then does that hurt Roman as the heel of the show?
Well, at this point, it doesn't really matter because regardless of what happens, we know what's going to happen. Well, actually, we don't. A couple of things can happen. So, either Cody, either way, Roman loses the belt. Roman loses the belt and he disappears for 6 months.
Not now. They may not do that. They may have Roman retain.
Well, he would need.
You gotta mask Vince.
That's what I'm saying. That we don't know what he's gonna do. What's gonna happen now? Because the original plan was Cody Roman, Seth Punk. Cody beats Roman. Roman disappears for 6 months. Game over.
Right.
But now it could be Cody Roman at Elimination Chamber. Cody wins.
No,
wrestles.
Roman's not going to wrestle at the EC because it would be a match. It would be, if they did that, that would be demoralizing to Cody to have him lose at the Elimination Chamber because WrestleMania is a lock.
You can't have him lose You can't have him lose the Elimination Chamber.
That's what I'm saying. So it'd be a waste of a match for Cody.
Hear what I'm saying? Cody Roman Elimination Chamber. They have a match at Elimination Chamber, not the Elimination Chamber match.
Oh,
they have their own match for the title at Elimination Chamber. Cody wins the title, then wrestles Seth at WrestleMania for a title unification. This is the only way this makes sense. The only reason the World Championship was created was because they couldn't take the belt off of Roman.
But they can't reunify the titles, though, because now you've got legitimately different brands on different networks, different family of networks. So now you have to consider Netflix's feelings. Are you okay with a champion moving back and forth again, or do you want your own belt? And for $500, I believe, $1 million guaranteed money. If Netflix says we want our own championship, then you can't unify. They may actually interject some more championships for the women, so that way there's not a tag team bouncing back and forth. And then
like I said, the way this makes any sense is for Cody to win.
I like what you're saying.
For Cody to go into, Cody doesn't even need to go into Elimination Chamber,
right?
He's got the world title shot,
and The Rock doesn't need to win the belt. That takes the stress.
And The Rock doesn't win the belt, so
that's not the storyline. That's not the narrative.
Comes out of this with the belt, even though they've been talking about him dropping it all this time. It's a cluster. It's a cluster, man.
If it is a championship match at Mania, Roman's everything, in my opinion, that they've been working for Roman to be this heel, this super heel, is going to be in vain, because Roman's going to beat The Rock. Let's say if that happens, Roman is the face in the match because people are pissed at The Rock. Yeah, they love him, but they're mad it's not Cody. And then where do you go with face Roman? We're going to have Cody beat face Roman? Something's got to happen to bring the heel back. That's too much BS. Too much BS. So I'm curious to see what these promos are going to be, what Monday's going to be like, because Cody's got to, he needs to talk to The Miz to figure out how to get a bigger sack to be able to cut this promo. He may have to bring his baby out, all that stuff. You're going to have to, all the stops. Dustin may have to show up to make this a believable, really stupid. And then I knew something was going down when that dog came out. When they showed that dog, usually every time they show that dog, something happens. Yep.
Something crazy goes down.
Here's the extra X factor we didn't even talk about. We still have a Money in the Bank briefcase to work out. We had it relatively ironed out last week, or at least gave them an option. But what do you do with the briefcase? Do you have Priest cash in successfully at Elimination Chamber on Seth Rollins? And now you got Damian Priest versus Cody, which is a downgrade match. No disrespect to Damian Priest, but, he's working his way up the headliner for Mania. Why would we not have Seth? Or are we just going to say, sorry, Priest, you've had this for a whole year. You're going to, fail at it, and we'll move on. I don't know.
But I still say that the Finn Balor aspect of it has to come into play now. Even more so. I
still like that to happen, where Finn Balor technically put his name on the briefcase at some point, or the contract. But then, do you want to implode the Judgment Day? Because they still got something viable that they can take the Mania with R-Truth, The Miz. Maybe you could throw in the Street Profits or somebody. Well, no, Street Profits is out. Who could he throw in there? Chad Gable or Otis. They could throw them in there, just to have a triple threat match or a 6-person match or a fatal. I don't know, whatever they want to do. Elimination tag match.
A sacrifice is going to have to be made to save this WrestleMania, because this WrestleMania is swirling as we speak.
I'd be pissed if I spent all that money and you to tell me I can't see Cody versus
Roman.
It
is swirling right now as we speak.
I think the Rock thing has backfired on him because it's got the most likes ever for any YouTube WWE video for that segment.
This is 3 years late. This match should have happened 2-3 years ago. If it was going to happen,
they could have did last year because they had the thing with Brock Lesnar. So that worked out. But again, we understand, schedules and conflicts and things like that. Again, makes you want to go all the way back in the day and smack the hell out of Triple H and him for screwing Sting over and not letting him be put over for that match, for the long-term sacrifice of The Rock that didn't happen. Straight up BS. So stay tuned. Stay tuned with us to be able to hear our thoughts on what the kind of BS they're going to try to shovel us on Monday, and if they actually think we'll still have our mouths open to be able to take the second load of BS on Friday of next week. But right now, I'm not looking forward to that match. There's only one match I'm looking forward to now, and that is Bayley and Io. We talked about that last week on how that's an inevitable, and when the was going to happen.
I gotta give it to you. You called it. You called it just like it happened. You called it, so I give it to you. I give you props.
Thank you kindly. But what was your thoughts on how it went down? The Japanese talk. I think they made it too obvious to the fans with that backstage segment with Bayley, kind of eavesdropping on and talking trash. I don't think they need to go there. I would rather it be more of a surprise, but it worked. The problem is they should have beat her down. We should have got Michael Cole involved somehow. I don't know how. But that if not then, at some point, Michael Cole and Bayley have to collaborate on something in reference to Damage Control versus Bayley. But I do see that if it's going to happen, and TKO is just willy-nilly spending money now, and they're trying to, again, cover up the chicanery, then the roadmap is paved for Mercedes Moné to come back. It's right there. Bayley's outnumbered. Who does she normally turn to when she's outnumbered? Sasha Banks.
Yeah, but
it's right
Tony Khan's supposed to be making an announcement here soon. If he hadn't made it already. How many
announcements is Tony gonna make that you even give a darn about? It's like he's got a major announcement. He hasn't had a major announcement.
This one is supposed to be about Mercedes, though. This one is announced.
He had was Ospreay, and that was a letdown. You got him,
yeah,
but we can't have him for a while. Like, well, what the heck you tell us the announcement for?
Well, they saying he's all. They were announcing that he's all elite. That he just got to finish out his contract.
Mercedes is all.
He still got a couple matches, just like Okada.
She
just like Okada. Huh?
Yeah, Okada's WWE, but she gave her number.
Is it?
Well, I mean, it's looking that way. They sold his merch off of or sold out the rest of his merch off of Pro Wrestling Tees. That's normally an indication. But again, they're in no rush for Okada. They're in no
We'll
rush.
see.
But
no. Okada at this point is a non-factor. We're talking about right now. We're talking about Mercedes Moné and Julia. Julia being the current strong New Japan Pro Wrestling strong women's champion. It's the woman that took the belt from Willow Nightingale.
Right.
She's supposed to be the next member of Damage Control,
which is fine.
Now she is a very strong wrestler. For those who have not seen her, y'all can go back and watch the match between her and Willow Nightingale. You can also watch some of the matches that she's had on AEW as well, or check her out on Stardom.
Right.
She does very well. She's trying to get her English together. She does speak some English, which is pretty good. It's all right. It's passable. No, she's a Japanese-born. What is it? No, excuse me. She's an English-born Japanese-Italian wrestler.
Right.
So she does have English. She has some English, but her main language is Japanese. She was born and raised. She was raised in Japan. So she is supposed to be signing with WWE, and rumor has it that she's going to be taking Bayley's place in Damage Control,
which now puts it 4-on-1. Now, this would also be a phenomenal opportunity to get the 4 horsewomen together. But, that's if Charlotte can get healthy enough to compete. That's wishful thinking. But 4v4, that would be the first time in a long time that they've tagged together. And the first time that they've tagged together at their current star level.
I still don't see Mercedes coming back to WWE though.
You don't understand. Our boy Dookie don't people. And it's in the Wall Street Journal. I mean, I'm not trying to make light of it.
Did you read that? Did you read it?
Yes. So
that thing played out like a penthouse forum.
So you have to do everything possible from the TKO perspective to get the attention off of that. Not in the most important time of the year, for your business, not when you're negotiating and getting $500 million from a streaming platform that can change the landscape of how all sports is presented. Not when
she already big league. She's already big leaguing, folks.
Yeah.
She's already big league, folks, with that number she wants.
Guess what she's gonna say? She's gonna send the feeler out, say, hey guys, I know there's a lot of mess going on. I'm still out here if you want to do this, if you want to do business. My number is still the same amount. Now they may pay it. Just for the star factor to get people talking about something other than, because 90% of the non-WWE sponsored social media is still talking about an algorithm, Vince. You can flip through the Twitters, the Facebooks and the Instagrams. You're gonna see something Vince related out of all those wrestling streams still, because they talking about the talk. Even our boy Jim Cornette had to have a show talking about how he wasn't really trying to make light of the situation. He was just talking about how it was just so absurd, that you couldn't help but laugh at it because it was just so absurd. Then John Laurinaitis, God dang, we're getting into it. But then John Laurinaitis comes in talking about he's a victim. Now we got a whole nother thing to talk about. And then we haven't seen the rest of the evidence that's going to be released. So you can have that be your narrative going into WrestleMania, to which you can we have enough time for sponsors to say, nope, whatever money you want to keep it. We're going to go ahead and break this sponsorship deal right now. We do not want to be associated with the WWE because she is suing the WWE as well as VKM and Laurinaitis. So they can just let things be, or they can pull out the guns, The Rock, and Mercedes and Stone Cold may be in this. I don't know how Undertaker's going to do. He may not want to touch this with a 10-foot pole at this point or a shovel. But, well, he would go with Vince called. But, again, you don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, Taker. So you may have to stay back on this one. You can't rely on the Undertaker. But Shawn Michaels is still there. He may be wrestling at NXT for something. You're going to have to do everything to keep people from talking about that man defecating.
And then what they doing to the
going out the R word, they call it that little room that she was locked in. They calling that the R room. So we got trafficking,
the R room,
the rape room.
Oh,
then we got the defecating. I mean, dude, this is like I'm seriously waiting for
Brock.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Mariska Hargitay, Ice-T, and Christopher Maloney to come out. And all you hear is gong gong, in a criminal.
I mean, they giving Brock the Benoit treatment right now. They put all this stuff on sale. Slashed all of his product on WWE Shop by the half.
Yeah, they like, you got to go. I'm like, dang, is anything Brock related I would have bought? It's like, God. And we still haven't got the rest of the names out yet. So it's, you have to do spin, and the only way to spin in this time of year is star power. The only way to do something is to break the rule of your plan and just get people talking. And we've already started see the beginning of it right now, especially since CM Punk is out. Hell, R-Truth may be at WrestleMania Wrestling. Why? Because why not? The people are all for it.
Yeah, they're setting him up for the tag belts with Miz.
He may go up against Gunther at this point, just because you need something else to talk about. And he may win just because you need something to talk about.
You're going to put Brock Lesnar against Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was fan courtesy. But Brock in his current state can play that up. And, I'm going to do the fans a favor. I'm going to destroy him. Just for fan service. Everybody would love to see it. Even Rey Mysterio may be in the front, and then Brock may send Rey Mysterio to Suplex City afterwards. I mean, the most absurd things that you can think of just may come to fruition to mask the fact that they are in super optics damage control. Pun intended. Because if that was me, that's what I'd do. Hell, I'd take it one step further. I'd make a phone call, say, hey, Roman, we're going to have to borrow your wise man. Paul Heyman is going to go ahead and book Mania. We may have Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman showing up, or at least be in the front row, representing ECW, just anything that you can do to get people away, just to get through WrestleMania season. Now, after Mania, you deal with what you got to deal with, but you can't go into Flair may be back. Goldberg retirement match. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Like Sting, I know you about the
bring it right back.
Oh God, no.
Bring back Ryback.
No. But they may bring back the Funkasaurus. Naomi's back. Why not? Back? Yeah. Why not do a reunion? What else could they do?
A reunion of the Funkadactyls?
Yep. DX may show back up. Well, no. You can't do DX. You can't do DX. I had to think about that. Nah. Because, that material is not going to land well this time. But you could do the NWO. Diamond Dallas Page could
NWO. Kevin Nash wouldn't do the NWO.
Well, you got
He
40
said
years of Hogan.
he said he'd never do NWO again as while after Scott died. So,
oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
yeah, they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it wouldn't work. Well, you could have Farouk back to join the nation, or to join Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, to give them some encouragement. You could do a lot. The APA could just come back just because. Let's get drunk and fight. Why not? Jacqueline may have her shot. Mickey James may be back for one more. Jordan Grace may be back in WrestleMania, or back at WWE for WrestleMania. Yeah, they need a lot. They may call Cornette and say, "Hey, you want to just show up, put some legends in that weren't involved."
Well, Bruce Pritchard is about to be out with a shoulder surgery, so
he may be out with for we know you know. We know you know. You too close to not know, Bruce. Too close. Because I guarantee you, loose lips sink ships, and Laurinaitis can't keep his mouth shut. So I know
he seems like one that'll break under pressure.
Yep. So if he already trying to turn and dry snitch, yeah, Bruce Pritchard knew, and Kevin Dunn may know too. We'll see. Just because that's the group right there. Only one to get out scot-free is Pat Patterson, because he's not here no more. Like, I got time for that. And if they came at me, I'm like, is that a girl? I ain't got time for that. Y'all know what I want. So,
y'all could at least brought one big butt boy up in here for me.
Heck yeah. So, like, you want to come in the room, Pat, but I ain't got time for that. I got other things I'm tending to. And just for extra, Big E may have a comeback if they give him the green light. So we may have Big E coming back for Mania to go against if we get the other, was it Ivar? Not Ivar. Was the other Viking Raider that was injured?
Eric, he's still hurt.
Eric. Yeah.
He's still hurt.
Yeah. Oh, dang. About to say, because that could be the tag team right there. Eric and Kofi. And then Creed, I don't know, who knows. But needless to say, we kind of went past, just blew past the Bailey turn because we knew it was happening, and jumped into the Vince situation. WWE is going to have to pull out a lot. But let me ask you this for your thought. With all this that's going on, do you think now Tony Khan is getting a get out of jail free card? Because he was in a doghouse with that Jinder Mahal burying his own company, on social media. And now this is taking up a life of its own. Tony quiet as hell.
Of course. Yeah. Tony was like,
yep.
I could have planned this better myself.
Yep.
Love it when a plan comes together.
Exactly.
So yeah. That's why you ain't hearing from Tony Khan, because he's like, okay, I'm gonna let y'all have that. Y'all go ahead and handle that. Good luck to you. I'm gonna be over here in the corner trying to sign Mercedes.
Yeah, that's his big announcement is, hey, I may like to play with these human action figures, but I definitely ain't playing with these human action figures. That's his announcement. Shoot. Like, y'all ain't gonna talk about me. We'll let that fool go and have that whole type of thing. And then Vince Russo got to be like, now who's the most hated person in wrestling?
Right.
And again, I said that I'm mad about just the thought process of it, but Rockback has to get just a little bit of reprieve. Like, yeah, you's a biatch and you've been grimy, and you had to talk about that man did mama because she ain't do nothing to nobody. But kind of was right. you were right about him being, slime. You weren't right about what he was doing or how that came to pass, but you was right. There's some stuff going on, but more to come as we go through this ever-changing Vince saga, because we still have to figure out what happened when the FBI seized all of his electronics. What's come out of that? Is this going to go to trial? Is it going to magically disappear? Unfortunately, if I was a betting man, I think Vince's career, and I'll just put it that way, is 100% connected to if Trump gets reelected. If Trump gets reelected,
yeah,
conversation about Vince is going to disappear. Not saying that Trump's going to have something to do with it. It's just that news-wise, it's old news. We on top of this. So that means that, NDAs can be held back up, full payoffs. Hey, it's 10 million plus another 10 million. We good? That type of deal. Things can happen. Lawyers can get paid off. TKO is like, you just ride off into the sunset and maybe we'll allow your name to be mentioned once in a while because you have no choice. It's there. It exists. You can't run from it. It's not like you can treat it like Benoit and have a little blip here when you have to have that little bit of a video segment. It's like the DNA of the industry. So it exists, but they're not going to make money off of it. I guess is the best way to think about it. But yeah, he's praying for that outcome. I can tell you that now because there's no other get out of jail free card unless he liquidates some more assets and kicks out at least $500 million. He kicks out $500 million and clears the entire slate, and he just sits in the corner and just let it be. Just sit in the corner. And maybe when you die, you may get a 10-bell salute. That's about all he can do.
If Agent Orange gets elected, that's an automatic pardon.
No. Like I said, it wouldn't, because that would keep it. That'd be bad optics for him. It's just gonna go away because the leverage is there. He makes a phone call behind closed doors. Hey, I need you to scratch my man back. If you do that, I got you on this. And there it is. Dirty politics right there. House of Cards. Sad to say. But, TKO is already trying to mask the conversation for right now. So, the possibilities are there. So we really kind of jumped through everything, because we were going to talk about Seth Rollins versus whomever, but technically we've covered that because the problem is we don't know what's happening with Seth Rollins. We're hoping, but this Roman thing really just threw a whole wrench in the plans. The Bailey turn was expected, but it was cool to see, more so the outfit. But,
okay, so since we can't really talk about who Seth is going to be with, even though we already know he's with Cody, they'll probably do the Elimination Chamber as a number one contendership for the world title.
Mm-hmm.
Point with the women's being who's going to face Rhea.
Yeah, who would you put in that outside of Becky? Bianca.
Well, you got Bianca, Nia.
Yeah. 2 more. No, 3 more, because that's
3 more.
Yeah. Nia. I guess maybe Piper Niven.
Nah.
Just have somebody in there of size.
No, no. Well, you got Nia.
Jade.
No, no,
You
not
wouldn't
yet.
put her in the EC?
I would like to put her in there, but she ain't ready for that. Nothing like that yet. That's too soon for her. She needs to get some matches under her first.
Okay.
Because I mean they debuted her, but they're not really ready to do anything with her yet. They just want to put her in a position to where she's going to start having some matches, but they're not going to put her in nothing like the elimination chamber like that right away. She ain't ready for that.
What about
have an issue? Plus, she's still having issue remembering spots right now. So for her to go into elimination chamber, not being able to remember spots.
Well, I mean, at the Rumble, that's just nerves. That's a lot of weight. For her debut, that's more weight than any other debut or special appearance in a Rumble. That's a lot. Coming from where she came from, everything she did, and the hype and the buzz, and then you got to remember a couple things, and then you've never, you haven't had that much time with these folks to be able to get it right. That's a lot. And then you got her and Bianca one-on-one. That's a lot. I think that was just nerves.
Yeah, they're not ready to put Bianca and her together.
That match is no time close.
That's a WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
That's a WrestleMania match to set up. But Bianca, you named Bianca, so that's 4.
Yeah. Well, no, we named Bianca already. That's 3.
Did we?
Yeah, we said Bianca.
Bianca, Becky, Nia. Okay, so that is 3.
Maybe somebody from NXT, Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany Stratton's already signed with SmackDown.
Oh, shit.
So she's signed with SmackDown Friday.
I was thinking, yeah, that's right, yeah. It's getting kind of slim pickings on this one. You could do.
There are 6. I just no, because Oscar will probably be defending
tag. But I mean,
she's in she'll be defending the tag titles probably with Piper and Chelsea. If not Caden and Katana.
Oh, speaking of, you could put oh gosh, Shayna Baszler. Even though she's tagging with Zoe Stark, but
the tag title
too.
But yeah, she could be thrown in there. Yeah.
So you could do Shayna. I mean, you could do Zoe Stark as well. That would be 5. That would give kind of an alliance out the box.
Yeah.
So that'd be 5, and then we just need one more. Oh, well, we don't know. Was Liv Morgan Raw? I think she was Raw.
I think she was.
Yeah, so we could Liv Morgan. That'd be your 6.
Okay. I can go with this. I can go with those 6.
Yeah. And then, it could all just work itself out that way. So, I don't know. That's some opportunities and some options. But again, it's a mad scramble to do everything possible to cover up the attention on Dookie Gate. So, if we can, get the hog maws and the shitterlings from Vince all covered up and washed away for the moment through WrestleMania, then we're okay. They can survive for another day and weather the extra storm. So that's really where that'll lie. So we're coming to the tail end. I want to do one shameless plug, and that's just because it is Black History Month. February 2nd, yesterday, Love and WWE, Bianca and Montez debuted on Hulu. Watch it. Make sure that they have their streaming numbers up. That way they could qualify for a second season. And then, this will be the closest to Total Divas that we'll get back for the moment. And then that could dovetail into full-on Netflix series and things like that we can get, some content well-produced behind the curtain, great storylines, and, just to have something good. But just if nothing else, to see some black love, watch it. That's my shameless plug. You got anything you want to shameless plug there, Mr. Sumo? Because we didn't talk about that Nate, your boy shirt that you're wearing.
No, this ain't no Nature Boy shirt. This is Kenny Omega shirt.
Oh, I thought that was a W.
Oh, that's North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Sorry. For a while, the way it was wrinkled up, I thought that was a W. So I thought it was woo Carolinas.
Yeah, that's North Carolina. Yeah.
I bet I didn't see the end.
If we are doing shameless plugs, then we might as well go ahead and talk about season 5 of Dark Side of the Ring coming out in March.
Yeah, Bruce Beefcake. Oh gosh, who else do they have? They got a lot of people on there.
Yeah, it's 10 shows. 10 shows that they've announced. I can't really remember any of them really right now, but it seems to be an interesting lineup. It's an interesting season. And then next week, the CW app will start doing brand new episodes of the NWA Power shows.
Yep.
So you'll be able to watch NWA Power for free on the CW app starting Tuesday.
Yeah.
So you want to check that out. Right now you got EC3 still as your NWA World Heavyweight Champion. You have your tag team of Blunt Force Trauma. One of the members being Rodney Mack, if you remember him from back in the day, being managed by Teddy Long, with Aaron Stevens as their manager, who's a former David Sandow.
Right.
So yeah, they've been trying to put together some decent shows recently leading up to this. The show that they are going to be showing is from their last matches from their last pay-per-view, which featured the World Heavyweight Championship match between EC3 and Matt Cardona. So that should be interesting to watch on television. So I would say to give them a shot as well. If you have never watched NWA or have not seen any of the latest product for them, you want to check them out and see if there's something that you are interested in picking up, especially since it's a free app.
Yep.
You may find something else from the CW that you might want to start binge watching, or if you haven't seen it in a while, or you want to catch up with something, you might see something on there that you might want to pick up. So,
well, just don't do Buffy. We got time for that. No throwbacks.
Go ahead and watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer if you want to.
Can't, man.
Why not? Why not?
That was a dark time on TV, man. Every time we turn around, all new.
I was thinking about Arrow again because I was on Instagram and some of the reels on Instagram were showing some of the episodes from the Crisis of Infinite Earth,
right?
Graphic novel, especially now that you have the DC doing the 3-part movie series on Crisis of Infinite Earths on the animated side of DC.
Well, they get it right. Arrow got it right. The Flash got it right.
They already got one out. They're supposed to be coming out with another one sometime this month. This part 2. The first one was pretty good to start out. The second one should be pretty good, pretty decent as well. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. So I mean, there's some things to check up on, and then we know we'll start getting word, and we know Sumo will start filling in the blanks on what indie shows that you could go ahead and look forward to, New Japan, stuff like that. That's going to start happening the week of WrestleMania, so you can start planning out your watching sessions and the times So, keep an eye out for that. He'll be able to provide that on That's Just Nubian very soon as those reports start coming out. So that way you can have a timeline of what to watch and who to watch out for, especially if you're trying to get into the indie game, as well as, what may be happening, like you said, with New Japan, NWA, and GCW and those other ones that are out there that maybe having some great shows, or some former WWE talent, thanks to the non-compete being removed. So there's still some people in play, like oh gosh, I just had his name in my head, Mustafa Ali, where he may be at that point and stuff like that. So we will have that lovely update very soon with That's Just Nubian. So at this point, we got time to play around with y'all. It's about an hour and almost 11 minutes. So it's beyond Sumo's bedtime. It's definitely past my bedtime.
Oh no, it's I got some things to catch up on here, sir. So I ain't going to bed no time soon.
Well, we'll just put it this way. My old ass is always going to tell you to diversify your bonds.
Konnichiwa, beaches.